Hello, my name's Olivia Williams. I'm the Head of Events and Training at the Hereford and Worcester Chamber of Commerce. The Hereford and Worcester Chamber of Commerce are a membership organisation that look to support businesses with their growth ambitions and help thrive in the local economy. The team and I are responsible for delivering a number of different events annually. This can be anything from a small, intimate networking event or MP roundtable, right up to a HR conference or a business exhibition, or even an annual award ceremony, which we've just delivered last week. We also deliver a number of different training courses to help businesses and employees bridge any skills gaps that they might have. This can be anything from an advanced Microsoft Excel course to search engine optimization or IOSH managing safely. I guess it depends. It depends whether I'm at an event or whether I'm based in the office. So if I'm at a live event, it can look very different. Depends where we are across Herefordshire and Worcestershire. It depends which event it is, whether it's a small networking event or a large conference or business exhibition. Within the office, there's lots of different things that the team and I look after. So it's making sure we've got our marketing plans in place. We might have to do some promotional work. We might be focusing on idea generation. We could be dealing with clients or with sponsors. So it really depends whether you're at a live event or planning for that event. A few things that are really important when we go out to a live event are to ensure that ourselves and the venue are kind of on the same page. So when we arrive, we'll spend an amount of time doing what we call setup. That can include having conversations with speakers, sponsors and the venue to make sure that timings are all correct and food's going to be brought out on time, dietary requirements are met, and lots of examples like that. Once that's happened and the event is about to begin and all of our guests and clients start arriving, we put smiles on and make sure that we're in our kind of customer-centric mode and make sure that everybody feels welcomed, has an agenda, knows where the tea and coffee is, and just have that kind of hospitality feel to the morning or to the evening. Then once the event has kind of started and is happening almost, it's just making sure that everything's running to timing, making sure that the speakers have got what they need if they're delivering presentations, making sure that if you go to a different room, everybody knows where they're going, making sure that there's handouts available. It really depends on what the content of the event is to then make sure you're keeping it on track and on time. The top 5 skills that I would recommend somebody needs if they're looking to go into a career of events are communication, customer service skills, problem solving skills, really good organisation and creative thinking. I think important school subjects for a role in events would definitely include maths. There's a lot of budget work that is required in my role. I think definitely English, language and literature, and later on perhaps in college environment I would say anything within business studies as well would be really helpful. So when I was 18, I applied for a events and training assistant role here at the Chamber. I didn't know much about the Chamber, I didn't know much about events, I didn't have any qualifications within the events industry, but I was really interested in what that job might involve and what it might include. I quickly fell in love with events and with training. It was a lot about being organised, going out and visiting clients, making sure that everybody felt comfortable when they came to our events and always trying to better our events every time, and I found myself really enjoying those kind of elements of the role. A couple of years later, a role for the events coordinator came up, which was a little bit of a step up for me, and I went for it, interviewed and was successful, which I was really proud of. That gave me a little bit more responsibility and a little bit more empowerment to actually deliver and plan some of my own events, which I really enjoyed. And then a few years after that, the role for events and training manager came up. That was about 5 or 7 years ago, which included actually looking after a team, and that was my first management role. I've been within that role for 7 years, really enjoyed it, and there's a lot of challenges, but there's a lot of really good things about it as well. I think once I'd kind of got my first taste for a few events, I just found it really exciting. It was really fun. It was great to collaborate with lots of different team members because events don't run on their own and you have to have lots of different input from your colleagues, and I really enjoyed that part of it. I think some of the things that really excited me in the early days were going out to some really cool venues and actually seeing some places I'd never seen before, although I'd lived within Hereford and Worcester all my life. So actually going out and seeing some venues, hearing some really interesting speakers about topics I'd never heard of, I think were things that after I sat back and thought about it, I sort of was like, wow, that's really cool. It's really impressive actually how you can get people within a room to all achieve a collaborative goal. I just found really impressive in general. I think there are a number of different pathways that somebody could take if they were looking for a career in events. One of them could be to approach some local hotels or hospitality industries. They offer really good opportunities to work within an events team on things like weddings or parties or proms, and that can give someone a really good experience. I think another way that somebody could get into a career of events a little bit later in life is to do an events management degree. There are a lot of business admin apprenticeships available across Herefordshire and Worcestershire. If any of the companies that are offering those apprenticeships also deliver some of their own events, perhaps within their marketing departments, it would be a really good idea to approach those companies, talk about that apprenticeship and ask if you can have some experience. I think in an initial stage, the advice I would give is just to get involved in any way, shape or form. So that could include things like volunteering at the Worcestershire Music Festival. That could mean going to your local theatre and asking for any experience or weekend jobs or volunteer jobs they might have, but also within your friends and family. So if someone's got a party coming up or a wedding, just ask if you can be involved, get to know the industry a little bit more.